folks, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. This is the Lamb Bear here, and previously in our last episode we took out the giant crystal lizard and took out the boss of the tutorial level, Udix Gundyr. So I think we're just gonna hop right back into it and get started. So without any further delay, let's get to it, open this big door, and progress through the game. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, and a little bit of history of my Souls game playing is I was a big fan of Skyrim, so a broken straight sword, very nice weapon, very nice. I was a big fan of Skyrim. Eventually, after playing hours and hours of Skyrim, I decided to look on the internet to see what other games were out there, and I saw that there was this game called Dark Souls that actually got a better rating than Skyrim, overall rating, on the website that I look at anyway. So I decided to check it out, and I instantly fell in love with Dark Souls. Had a lot of fun playing Dark Souls. Then I actually found out that there was a game for Dark Souls called Demon Souls, and that was on the PlayStation 3. And I didn't actually have a PlayStation 3 at the time. Homeward Bone, you could use that item to transport you back to any bonfire, or the last bonfire you stayed at. I'll take a look at that real quick. But yeah, so I bought a PlayStation 3 just so I could play Demon Souls, and shockingly I fell in love with that as well. Demon Souls was a blast. And then Dark Souls 2 came out, so I had to play that. And I also had a blast playing Dark Souls 2. Eventually, when the next gen consoles, being Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out, I heard that FromSoft was making a game just for PlayStation 4, and just cause I believe it was the same studio as the guys that made Demon Souls. So I had to buy a PlayStation 4 so I could play Bloodborne, and then Dark Souls 3 came out, and here we are today. And we got an archer hitting us. So I'm a huge Souls fan. You can go as far as to say as a huge Souls nerd. And I figured, I see people recording videos all the time, so I figured I'd, put my hat in the ring and give it a shot. So that's that, and let's hunt some hollows, gentlemen and ladies. So it took a couple hits. Still getting used to actually talking and playing this game. So that will take some getting used to, but I'm not dead yet, so it's not a big deal. And let's see, we got an Ember here now. An Ember is like the humanity in the other Dark Souls games. So if you see here, if you want to read that, the Ember, if you pop the Ember, it will raise your health significantly. I'd say, I don't know the actual mathematics here, but I'd say about 20%, maybe something like that. I'm sure you guys can check that out if you want to know the exact number. But you'll also be able to see summon signs on the ground, and also you'll be able to be invaded if you consume that Ember. So I'm not gonna use that right now. I'm just gonna stockpile the Embers for now. So that's that. See what we got here. East-West Shield. Alright, let's check out that gear. Not yet. Oh, that's right. You guys taking 2 shots. Fading Soul. Anyway, inventory. Let's take a look at our shields. Went the wrong way. So you can see the East-West Shield does not block 100% physical, which is something that I need right now, like the Night Shield does. It does have better resistances against magic and fire, and not lightning and dark. But so that's obviously not something I'm looking to use. But if you want to read the item info, feel free to do so. So that's that. We probably won't be using that shield anytime soon. So, alright, so up here we have a really tough enemy. I mean, you can see there's blood stains on the ground in a couple different spots. Let's see, I'm sure the sign says, yeah, be wary of charging. Okay. So I have a lot of souls on me right now, so I'm going to go ahead and not fight him yet. Don't worry, I'm not just going to be a scaredy cat and run away. I'm going to fight him, but I just want to collect everything I can and go through this area. Another ember, very nice. Go through this area and explore everything before I take him on, because he's no pushover, that's for sure. So we'll just keep on exploring through here. And obviously, I'm sure most of the people watching this video, you're well aware to explore every nook and cranny, pick up all the loot. That's the way you have to play these Dark Souls games. Well, you don't have to, but I wouldn't say I'm a completionist, but I definitely want to collect as many items as possible. So, well, that's that for the outside of Firelink Shrine, which is where we're at now. You'll find that out shortly. So let's actually go into the shrine and see what friends we can make inside there. And ta-da! Firelink Shrine. Very big area, a lot of branching paths. There's some loot. We will get that eventually. Yeah, Firelink Shrine. So let's go make some friends. Ah, it's the Maiden in Black.
Welcome to the bonfire unkindled. I am a firekeeper.
Oh, pardon, Firekeeper.
I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end I am at thy side. Ashen One, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen One, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen One, to be unkindled is to be a sovereignless soul. I will show thee how. Ashen One.
Okay, so we have exhausted her dialogue to this point. So obviously, as you can tell, this is where we're going to go to level up, and I'm going to take a quick look at my stats.
Then touch the dark, take nourishment from...
Alright, so I have most of my points in Vitality. So I won't bother with Vitality at the moment. Intelligence and Faith, probably won't be putting too much points into them. I might want to do some pyromancies down the road, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, not in the beginning of the game. Luck is a stat I don't think I've ever leveled up once, so probably won't be worrying about luck very much. Vigor, that will raise your health, as you can see here. Attunement, like I said, won't be doing much spells in the beginning of the game, so attunement raises your focus points, and also once you reach certain thresholds, you will gain one attunement slot, which allows you to equip a sorcery. Endurance, that's pretty straightforward. Raise endurance, raise your stamina. The more stamina you have, the more attacks you could do, or the more hits you could take. So, Vitality. Vitality is the stat that governs how much equipment you can carry. Strength, well, higher strength, the more powerful your attacks will be. And if you raise your strength, there's a lot of bigger weapons in this game that require heavy strength requirements. So strength is going to be something that we're going to look to level up. So keep that in mind. Dexterity is also something we're going to level up. We're not going to go too high into dex, but there are a couple weapons I believe I'm going to want to try where dexterity is going to have to be raised. So that's something we're probably not going to worry about right now, but I'm going to want to look into dex eventually. But for now, I think I'm going to get my strength up to 15, get my endurance up to 12, Get my vigor, I guess, up to 14. Do I want to do 15? Almost 100 more hit points. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with the 3 major stats for now. Vigor, endurance, and strength. Okay, that's what we'll do for now. Alright, goodbye souls. Okay. So that's that. So whenever you want to level up, you'll just come to this area, talk to her, and give her your souls. What do we got here?
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
Alright. So he's given me the collapse emote. He seems like a cheery fellow. Let's continue our dialogue.
Don't you think?
Sure he has
what
more
a
to say.
sick joke. Asking us to seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their We're talking true legends.
Alright, so we've exhausted his dialogue for now, so we'll be talking to him again later. You know what? I didn't even state it. This room is pretty neat, obviously. During the cutscene, you saw that there are some major lords out there, and we have five thrones in Firelink Shrine. It looks like one throne is already occupied, so I think we'll make our way over to that gentleman and see what his story is all about. That was a close one.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look.
Alright, let's see what else he has to say.
Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus.
I love that. I love that. He may be small, but he may die a Colossus. Very, very interesting. So he just gave us our whole objective for the game. That's FromSoft's way of telling you what you're supposed to do. They don't just, put it down and then you have quest markers telling you what to do with, dialogue boxes saying this is what you're supposed to do. They, they're very, cryptic, and they don't tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. It's all it's very unique. I love the way FromSoft tells their story. Let's exhaust his dialogue. I believe it's exhausted, but
Knowest thou of
that's what I thought. Okay, cool. Very good. He's going to be very important for us later on in the game, so he's going to be one of our good friends. So, alright, so let's move on, see who else there is to meet in good old Firelink Shrine.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
You gotta love her. Go kill stuff, get some souls, then give them to me. She's great. Let's see what else she has to say before we check out the
Ashen
wares.
One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
Alright, so if we find any umbral ash throughout the game, we'll have to go to her, give her that ash, and she will sell us more stuff. So let's see what she has to sell. She sells some embers, repair powder. You can use that to repair your weapon in the field. But from my experience, I've never really needed repair powder, because if you rest at a bonfire, that automatically repairs your weapon. So I'm not really going to bother with repair powder. Purple moss clump, that will heal poison. I'm not going to worry about that now. Fire bombs, we know what those are by now. Prism stones, you could mark where you've been on the ground. That's not really very important. Homeward bone, we'll be getting plenty of those throughout the game, so I don't need to purchase one. The white soapstone, this I am going to pick up. This item I can use to put a summon sign down to engage in some jolly cooperation. So I will be picking that up, and I probably, after I beat a boss, I will be putting my sign down to help others beat the boss, just to gather up some extra souls throughout the playthrough. And here are a couple weapons: scimitar, halberd, one of my favorites from Dark Souls 1, the halberd. Talisman, used for casting miracles. You have your sorcerer's staff, use that to cast sorceries. And some shields, mediocre shields in my opinion, and some armor, arrows, and bolts. So that's what she has to sell for now. But like she said, collect some umbral ash, and she will have more to sell. So that's what she has to offer us for now. So
Ashen One,
we'll leave her, just interrupt her by walking away. And we have an old friend. Any players of Dark Souls will recognize this face.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
So, Andre of Astora. Hello, old friend. I'm going to start off just by exhausting this dialogue.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. There are two ways to smith weapons.
Yeah, a little more dialogue.
Simple
Explaining
reinforcement is one, and
upgrade.
infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all.
And he'll give you a emote, hurrah. So basically, unlike in not typical Dark Souls fashion, he kind of tells you exactly what's going on with his reinforcement and infusion of weapons. So I can't do any reinforcement yet. I need more Titanite shards. And I can't do an infusion right now because I didn't pick up the fire gem from the starting gift. So he'll repair stuff if it breaks. I've played 1.5 playthroughs already of this game, and nothing has broken on me yet, so I've never even bothered repairing anything. A new feature in the game, a lot Estus. With the Ashen Estus Flask, if you're not casting a lot, you could actually take your Ashen Estus Flask and shimmy that over to be just a regular Estus Flask. That's really helpful for me now, because I won't be doing much casting till I find some decent pyromancies later on in the game, so we're going to stick with 4 Estus Flasks for now. Reinforced Estus Flask. Throughout the world, there are items called Estus Shards. You bring those to our good friend Andre, and he will actually reinforce your Estus Flask, giving you more charges of the flask. So that's pretty helpful. This is great blacksmith, good guy, love him to death. So he's awesome to have in Firelink Shrine. So that's what he has to offer for now.
I don't want to see my work squandered.
Great dude. Some other areas in Firelink Shrine. We might have someone hang out here later. Who knows? Maybe we'll meet a friend that wants to make this his abode. You know, who knows? Down this hallway. Seems like a comfortable spot for someone to hunker down, but no one's here now, so okay. And we'll make our way over to the other side of this bridge here. Now, call me crazy, but I would love to have a spot here, some great real estate in Firelink Shrine, as is this area here. It's in a great neighborhood, it's a great spot, so I'm sure we'll find someone that would like to hang there. And also we have this area of Firelink Shrine. Illusion ahead, that's a lie, so we're going to go ahead and not mess with that. And this is another spot where we'll probably have some friends move on in. So that's this level of Firelink. I'll also actually show off the back of these thrones here. You could read these engravings. So we saw him in the opening cutscene, or saw it in the opening cutscene. So that's the Saint's throne. We already met Ludlith, and he's the exiled. Interesting. I wonder why. Who knows? We have this big throne here. Holy King Lothric, the last hope of his line. Very interesting. Very interesting. Whoa. If you see that sword to the right of my character, many Dark Souls fans might recognize that blade. But let's read the engraving. Watchers of the Abyss. Interesting. Very, very interesting. People might recognize that sword as oh shoot, I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys know. You're not having a brain fart like I am right now, but in the last throne, Yorm, the giant of the profane capital, we also recognize him from the opening cutscene, as we did the Abyss Watchers. So that is all of this area, this level of Firelink Shrine. There are also 2 stairs, one stairway going up this way that leads to nothing at the moment, and one stairway that leads up that way, which will bring us to a NPC later on in the game. I'm actually going to go up this way and see if I could do a quick little cheap jump to get a nice head start in the Souls series. So, right here, we have some loot, right? Soul of a Deserted Corpse, another soul item. We can't get into this area right now, that's locked, and the Shrine Maiden, or I guess the Shrine Salesman, that's what I'll call her. She sells a key for 20 grand that allows us to get through here. So we won't be getting that key anytime soon, but there is some loot that I want to get up this way, and I could actually do a quick little jump, see if I could make it. I won't attempt this too many times, but see if I could climb up this tree and jump up onto this roof. I'll give it 1 or 2 more attempts. I don't want to have you guys sit here watch me try to make a jump this whole time. That's not very exciting. But if I can make this jump, then I can get a ring that will really help me out in the early game, and we could meet 2 new NPCs. I have to give it one more shot. That was pretty disgusting. Alright, so I'm not gonna deal with that right now. I'll probably do that off camera and show you guys the end product there once I actually make that jump onto that roof. So alright, so actually I think I'm gonna call it here, and the next episode we're going to fight that samurai sword wielding hollow out into the right. And also I want to see if I can make that jump and pick up a ring that's really going to help me on in the early game. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it, and you know, stick with me, and we'll definitely start fresh with episode 3. I think I'm going to get started on that now, so hopefully I can get that upload to you soon. So thanks again, and I'll catch you guys later.